Welcome back to Financial Mastery Insights, the place where we break down real strategies to help you build real wealth and achieve financial freedom. Today's video might just be one of the most important ones you watch all year, because we're talking about the hidden habits that keep people broke. Not because they're lazy and not because they're not smart, but because they've unknowingly fallen into patterns that silently sabotage their financial future. These habits are like financial landmines, easy to ignore until they blow up your progress. Now the rich, they've learned how to spot and avoid these traps. That's one of the biggest differences between those who stay stuck and those who rise. And today I'm going to show you exactly what these habits are, how they keep people poor, and how to break free from them. So stick around until the end, because even if just one of these habits applies to you, it could be the reason you're not moving forward financially. Let's dive in. Habit 1. Living above your means. One of the most damaging habits that keeps people broke is living above their means. This doesn't always show up as buying flashy cars or expensive watches. Sometimes it's as simple as dining out 5 times a week when you could cook at home, or constantly upgrading your gadgets even when the old ones still work just fine. It's the slow but steady creep of lifestyle inflation. Your income increases, and right alongside it, your spending increases too. What should be a season of financial progress turns into a cycle of paycheck-to-paycheck living. Compare that to how the wealthy operate, especially in their early stages. Many of them live far below their means, even when they can afford much more. They don't feel the need to constantly prove their success through material things. They value freedom more than image. If you're serious about breaking this habit, the first step is tracking where your money is going. You'd be surprised how many small leaks are draining your financial boat. Then create a system where you're living on a fraction of your income, maybe 70% or even less, and intentionally channel the rest into savings, investments, and financial growth. That's how real wealth begins. Habit 2. Relying on bad debt. Another trap that keeps people poor is relying on bad debt. And I'm not talking about strategic debt used to invest in a business or buy income-generating assets. I'm talking about the kind of debt that drains you instead of grows you. Credit card balances, high-interest loans, borrowing money for vacations, new clothes, or impulse purchases. Debt, when used recklessly, becomes a form of modern slavery. You're not earning for yourself anymore. You're working to pay interest to banks. The wealthy understand this. They use debt as leverage. They borrow to invest, not to consume. If you find yourself stuck in bad debt, it's time to take action. List every debt you owe. Look at the interest rates and create a payment plan. Focus aggressively on eliminating the high-interest ones first while paying the minimums on the rest. And most importantly, stop treating credit as extra money. If you can't pay it off in full every month, you shouldn't be using it at all. Habit 3. Wasting time. Instead of investing it. One of the most subtle habits that keeps people poor is wasting time. Not just the occasional break or downtime, that's important too, but the chronic daily habit of using free time for entertainment instead of education or growth. Hours upon hours spent scrolling through social media, watching shows, or engaging in things that don't improve your life in any meaningful way. Meanwhile, those same hours could be used to learn a new skill, read a book, start a side hustle, or build a business. The difference in how the rich and the poor use time is massive. The wealthy see time as a resource, just like money, but even more valuable because you can't get it back. They invest their time into learning, creating, and building. If you want to shift this, start by scheduling your day intentionally. Even if it's just 1 hour a day dedicated to growth, that's 365 hours in a year. That's a college course. That's a new income stream. That's a transformed life. The clock is ticking whether you use it or not. Make it count. Habit 4. Thinking short-term. Short-term thinking is a major mindset trap that holds people back financially. It shows up in everyday decisions, choosing instant pleasure over long-term gain, putting off saving because things are tight right now, or constantly saying you'll start next month. It's the YOLO mindset. And while yes, life is short and meant to be enjoyed, constantly avoiding the long game is what keeps people stuck in survival mode. Wealthy people are long-term thinkers. They understand the power of compounding. They make decisions that might not pay off today, but will multiply over time. They delay gratification because they know that financial freedom later is more valuable than momentary pleasure now. To shift this, start asking yourself one question before every major financial decision. How will this impact my life 5 years from now? That one shift in perspective can help you avoid short-term thinking and start building a future that's actually worth looking forward to. Habit 5, avoiding financial education. A huge mistake that keeps people broke is ignoring financial education. Many people believe that money is too complicated to understand or that they're just not good with numbers. But financial literacy is a skill, and like any skill, it can be learned. Sadly, most people stop learning about money the moment they leave school, not realizing that school never really taught them how to build wealth in the first place. The wealthy don't see financial education as optional. They read books, follow money experts, attend seminars, and constantly upgrade their knowledge. The more financially educated you are, the less money feels like a mystery. You start understanding taxes, investments, risk management, assets, and liabilities. You stop falling for scams and start recognizing real opportunities. If you've avoided this area, start small. Read one personal finance book this month. Follow channels like this one. Learn the basics of budgeting, investing, and building net worth. Financial ignorance is expensive, but learning about money, that pays you for the rest of your life. Habit 6, staying in the wrong environment. Finally, one of the most powerful but underestimated habits that keep people poor is staying in the wrong environment. The people you surround yourself with, your friends, your coworkers, even your family, have a massive influence on your mindset, habits, and expectations. If everyone around you is broke, constantly complaining about money, laughing at your dreams, or encouraging reckless spending, then that mindset will rub off on you whether you realize it or not. The wealthy surround themselves with winners, with thinkers, with people who challenge them to grow, dream bigger, and stay disciplined. If your environment isn't helping you grow, it's holding you back. That doesn't mean cutting everyone off, but it does mean being intentional about the voices you allow in your head and heart. Find new circles. Join online communities focused on money and entrepreneurship. Listen to mentors. Go where people are building, not just talking. So let's bring this all together. These 6 habits, living above your means, relying on bad debt, wasting time, thinking short-term, avoiding financial education, and staying in the wrong environment, are the invisible chains that keep millions of people stuck. But here's the good news. Chains can be broken. Habits can be changed. Mindsets can be rewired. If you saw yourself in any of these patterns today, don't beat yourself up. Awareness is the first step to transformation. The next step is action. Every wealthy person you admire once had to confront these same habits. They weren't born financially smart. They made a decision. They chose growth. They chose discipline. And they stuck with it long enough to see results. Now it's your turn.